fastest show in sports.
If the name Puka Nacua means nothing to you, it's okay. Means you're not a fan of the National Football League and you're not a fan of the Los Angeles Rams. He's a star wide receiver for the Rams, actually a pretty good athlete. And once again, we have come to the time where if you haven't heard of him before, you're going to hear about him now because the guy can't keep his mouth shut, and another one of those athletes who just can't stop himself or herself from doing something incredibly stupid. Not one, but two things that are incredibly stupid, which comes on a line of things the National Football League doesn't want their players to say, and also a charge of anti-Semitism, which is very tough to discuss these days, but needs to be put into the context of everything this guy has said. Puka shows up on a show, just one of these shows out there that live streams. This isn't a regular show, it's not like a legitimate program, and it certainly isn't hosted by anybody who knows the National Football League. These are just these social media lifestyle traps, if you will, where it's just a few clowns who are hanging out and they want to go ahead and have somebody famous. Now, how they got Puka onto the show, who knows? He probably watched the show at one time and wanted to show up. But he shows up on the show, and while it's one of those loose sort of atmospheres, he doesn't realize that even at your age, you gotta be smart, because you're going to get baited into doing stupid things by really unintelligent people. And that's exactly what happened here, because it's one of those things where it's loose, everybody's having fun, and gee, don't worry, nobody's going to see it. Well, guess what? This time they saw it, and this time everybody is going to react. The National Football League is very tight on its athletes, people who work in the organizations. They don't like you saying certain things about certain people in the league, certain things that happen in the league. They want it kept inside the locker room. And when it comes to the referees, the officiating in the National Football League, this pretty much goes for just about every sport. If you're a player, sure, you can gripe about the referees in private, but don't take it public. And that's where he screwed up.
Do you think the refs be bullshitting sometimes?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, they had a... Yes, the refs are the worst because they're just, some of the rules aren't, and like these guys want to be, these guys are lawyers and like they want to be on TV too, bro. Like the game is, you don't think he's texting his friends in the group chat like, yo, you guys just saw me Sunday Night Football, like that was
no way,
like that wasn't PI, like but I called it. I was like,
seriously, they do that?
I mean, these guys are normal human beings too, bro. Like these guys.
I mean, they do a better job than them.
Dude, am I even joking? Yes.
They're fucked, bro. They
do.
kill the game.
They're cheaters, bro. I don't care.
And if you say anything, you get fined.
Yeah, wait.
100%.
I'll pay the fine.
We'll cut that. We're gonna cut that part out.
We'll pay it. Don't worry. Me and Neil will split it.
Well, he knew he was going to get fined, and those two clowns aren't going to split the fine. Well, maybe they will. Who knows? They can go ahead and come out of their basement every now and then or where their ping pong table is and pay the fine. But still, it was a stupid thing to say. But here's where we start to unpack a lot of the nonsense that went on here. If Puka's got an instance and if he's got a problem with the officiating in the NFL, guess what? By coming out and basically saying that the guys are fixing the games. Now, that's exactly what he said. That the guys are out there, that they're only lawyers, they're not real officials. He comes out there and it's the inference that sticks in people's heads. Because we've had a case right now, and we have cases right now, where thanks to social media and the bubbleheads who are out there, every time a bad play happens, game's fixed. The officials are out there, they're fixing the games. Oh, they're hoping the Kansas City Chiefs win the game. Absolute, unrequited, undeniable, incredible amounts of bullshit continues to fly whenever a call goes against somebody. It immediately says that it's being fixed. Look, we know that there have been officials in other sports that have been accused and have been caught fixing games. It's not happening in the National Football League. It's right out there in front of you. The league is tight on this. And if anybody is out there screwing around or placing any bets and the league finds out about it, there's going to be an exorcism across the league. But it's just not happening. It's right out there in front of us. But the mere fact that Nacua feels that he's got to go ahead and take shots at the officials here is going to make people think. Because the National Football League, like everybody else, is now so deep in bed with the gambling element that every time something happens, somebody's going to figure the fix has got to be in somewhere, which is ridiculous. Just because a call goes against you, just because there's an occasional call, an occasional bad call, it doesn't mean that the officials are standing there going, holy crap, I got to go ahead and I got to call against the Philadelphia Eagles right now. I got to do this. No, come on. And the fact that Nacua's out there and he's saying, well, the guys are showing up, they're just a bunch of lawyers, and they're going to go ahead and text their friends and say, hey, did you see me? I made the pass interference call. Bullshit. It just doesn't happen. I know many officials. These guys are professionals. They are proud of what they do. They have a tremendous amount of pride in what they do and professionalism as well. Do they miss calls? Sure. Everybody does. Name me a sport, high school, collegiate, pro, where calls aren't missed. But anymore when it comes down to the amount of replay and the amount of second opinions that are involved and the people who are watching, it is nearly impossible to fix a game. Matter of fact, I won't say it's impossible because it can happen, but it's just not happening. But it's that inference. The NFL is involved with the gamblers, and the gamblers now make a tremendous amount of money with the NFL, and they're going to go ahead and get involved with somebody in the NFL. They're going to try and fix a game. They're going to try and get to an official. I guarantee you that there is absolutely no way that somebody is going to get away with that. The league is going to be all over it. But here, we got Puka, who can't keep his mouth shut, who basically decides that he's going to take a shot at the referees. Hey, what do you think the officials are going to do the next time somebody's all over you when it comes down to pass interference and they got their hand in your face? You think they're going to call it? Maybe they might miss a call here and there. You're stupid. For God's sake, kid. And look, I call him a kid, but he's a grown man. He's 24 years of age. He's been around the league a while. He knows how things go. You don't say things like this. And not only that, but he's glib about it and he doesn't care. Oh, I'm probably going to get fined for this. Yes, you probably are going to get fined for it. But that's a stupid thing to say. It then feeds this social media nonsense. Because as soon as he says this, it hits all forms of social media, gets on this channel, winds up on X, shows up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, and everybody thinks that something must be going on because he talked about game fixing by the officials. Social media and perception runs what happens these days more than fact. And the mere perception that somebody is going to watch this knucklehead and have him take shots at the officials, they're going to think maybe he's got something here. Maybe they are fixing the games. It's another headache that the National Football League doesn't need. The Rams don't need it. The officials don't need it. And the National Football League, in my opinion, really has to do a better job anyway with the officials. Every single one of these officials needs to be a full-time employee of the National Football League. This doesn't need to be a secondary job. Year-round, every one of these zebras should be out there practicing their craft because the game hinges on much of the decisions and the calls that they make. Look at how it changes a game. And these are people who need to constantly be training, constantly be looking at their job. It's like anything else. It's like a professional football player. You're out there, you look at the film. You're out there, you get graded. And yes, they do get graded. They do look at the film. But this needs to be a 52-week-a-year job. And if somebody wants to be an attorney and an official, guess what? You got to make a choice between the two. The NFL needs full-time officials who can completely be above this kind of reproach. Until they get that, people are still going to worry whether or not the game's going to be fixed. And look, even if they bring in full-time officials, you're still going to have this social media bullshit out there that's going to say that, hey, Puka said it, must be true, must be somebody out there trying to fix a game. It's going to happen because people are always looking for excuses. If you've got a couple of $1,000 or $10 or $5 bet on your team and one play costs you a couple of bucks, then you're going to go ahead and gripe and moan and grief all the way out to social media and say, yeah, a game must have been fixed. See, that cost me money. Come on, people. Don't be this stupid. It's just not happening. I know there's people out there going to say, Ed, how can you be sure that the games aren't being fixed? I can't. I can look you in the eye and say, it might be happening. But for Puka to come out and open this Pandora's box by being on some nickel and dime knucklehead show that, I don't know, they've got thousands of viewers because they're basically viewed by those with an IQ of a snail who are just looking for something stupid. to watch an NFL player go ahead and play ping pong with a couple of guys, talk about stuff, talk about nonsense. I mean, that's just the way it is. But the players have got to be smarter than this. Puka needs to be smarter than this. You just don't appear on these shows. You don't set yourself up for failure. And that's exactly what he's doing, because all the onus comes onto him for saying something stupid. And that's when people go, you know, these athletes aren't too bright to begin with, and sometimes they just might be right. In the case of this guy, they're correct. And it's not just because of what he did when he talked about the officials, because there's a second level to this. Athletes, entertainers, people who are famous. In these days of social media, you got to be careful what you say, and you got to be careful the people that you're around, and you got to be careful that somebody is not pushing you into doing something or saying something that is going to reflect badly on you, the league, your game, whatever. Now look, not everybody knows everything. And what we're going to watch here now is also from the same broadcast. And there's a part of me that wants to give Nacua a break, because perhaps he didn't know what he was doing. In that sense, you can say that this is a knee-jerk. But in light of everything that's happening in the world today, in light of the rise of anti-Semitism, in light of the fact that Jews around the world are being persecuted at a level now that we haven't seen since the 1930s and 40s, since the Nazi regime. I mean, we've got people who are dying for their religion, being shot dead at a celebration. We have to be sensitive to what is said, why it's said, and when it's said. So that's why when Puka is on this show and the host, a guy named Aiden Rose, who happens to be Jewish, goads him into doing something that maybe, just maybe, he didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do for your touchdown celebration. So do what you normally do. You throw it down and you flex like Nick Diaz. Then go like this. So do it. So throw the ball, spin it, flex, then look and go like this. All right. Yes! Yes! Just like a bow. Yes, just like this. All right, so do it all in one.
Yo.
Spin it. Flex.
Dude! Yes!
In the camera, in the camera.
Does that?
Will you actually do it?
Yeah.
Whoa!
That's easy.
Oh,
I
that's
like it.
fine.
All right, so let's do it together. Ready? Spin, flex. Oh my God! Dude. You promised.
He locked it. I promise. I got you, man.
Oh my God!
That's gonna be fire.
Oh my God!
Dude, if he does that, whoa.
You have to do it now.
This gets out, and all of a sudden the furor is explosive. From politicians to Jewish representatives to Jewish groups, they're going crazy on this one, and they've got a right to, because undoubtedly the host knew what he was doing, without question. And for those who are missing it, and I'm going to have to repeat it because you need to see it, but when he was talking about the touchdown celebration, spinning of the ball, flexing, got it. But then Ross has him do this, which is the rubbing of the hands. In many cases, that is an anti-Semitic insult, where people are talking about the greedy Jews. That's what this is. That's what it has been over the years when people do this. It's not about anything else. Now, granted, let's go ahead and be adults here. There are some people who are going to watch and say, I didn't know that either. I get that. Because there's a lot of things out there that certain people don't know what they're saying, what they're doing, and they get goaded into it, and then it sticks to them. But it is something that, in light of what is happening today, in the world, in our society, it simply shouldn't be done. It's too touchy, and it's wrong. It's completely wrong. It's insulting. And not only that, but it brings up that thinking once again that people are just going to make as much fun of the Jews as they can, and that's then going to lead to violence. This guy, Ross, as I mentioned, he's Jewish. And he took such great glee in this. You see him? He goes, oh man, that's great. You got to go ahead and do that now. And there's a chance that in the next game, Nacua Nacua might have done it. Not now. Not after this gets out. Guaranteed the Rams on the National Football League were on him like stink on shit after this is over and said no. And by the way, Ross said that Puka was going to show up on the show again. I doubt that's going to happen. We need to be careful of what's going on. As I noted, I am willing to give Nacua a break that maybe he didn't know. The way he was doing it looked like he had no idea what he was doing. All he was doing was copying something that somebody else told him to do. He's a young guy. He may not know everything. He may not ever have seen this before. I can tell you that I've seen it. I've seen it used many times. It's insulting. It's arrogant. It's despicable in so many ways because it's another way to show a hatred of Jews without actually coming out and saying it. Now, why a Jew would do it, who knows? I guess he just wanted to be edgy. He wanted to get something out there, wanted to maybe have some fun. This isn't fun. This isn't fun. Nacua has got to get in front of this. And at the time we're taping this show, he hasn't said anything yet. But this is a case where, as an adult, you come out and say, I screwed up. I didn't know what I was doing. I apologize. But again, as I'm sitting here right now, that hasn't happened. He owes that to the Jewish people. He owes that to the people that he inadvertently insulted and brought shame onto him, the team, and the league. And for those who are saying, and I know that there's going to be a part of it, there will be those watching this show who will say, come on, Ed, it's not a big deal. Okay, so he did this and he rubbed his hands together. How many people are actually going to know that it's considered to be an insult of the Jewish people? Hey, if one person knows, that's all it takes. And I guarantee you there's a lot more people that know than don't know. Then again, look at the audience. The audience that he was playing to on this social media channel was probably a bunch of 12-year-old to 20-year-old knuckleheads with the brain power of a snail, and they just are laughing about it. Look at that. That's kind of funny. Yeah, man. Okay, that's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny in the least. And now that it's been exposed, people need to understand that we have got to be more careful, because there is an element in this society that will take things like that and they will use it for their own means. They will use it for all the negative reasons. They will then continue to use it. They'll do it in the face of somebody. They'll do it right to the face of somebody who's Jewish or somebody that they want to insult as Jewish. And that will then lead to more hate, more potential violence, which we have got to stop. We have got to cut this down. And when something like this happens, we need to stop, don't knee-jerk, examine what happened, and then put it into context and tell ourselves that it's wrong. It's wrong and must stop immediately. Unfortunately, this tape is going to be out there for everybody to see for the rest of time. But hopefully we can learn from it, and we can stop this hatred, and we can stop this violence. And especially now, at the holiday time of the year, let's look for something positive. And if anything positive is going to come out of this from that minute, whatever it was, it's going to be that we learn and we don't let it happen again. Puka, don't know you. Have no clue. I've never interviewed you. Wouldn't know you if I stepped on you. Well, I'd know you from the league. But I implore you, apologize. What you said about the referees was just plain stupid. You're not a stupid guy. At least prove to us you're not. Listen to what people are saying about this anti-Semitic look. And say you're sorry. Because that is now the most important thing. is to understand what you did. As for the guy who goaded him into doing it, there's no words. Only the word despicable comes into mind, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He was mocking Jewish people. He was putting that out there. He knows what it is. That's why he got Puka to do it. He's just part of, and I don't care whether he's Jewish or not, he's part of this element that feels everything's a joke, and we can make fun of the Jews, and don't worry about it. Nothing will happen. Yeah, nothing will happen. Tell that to the people at Bondi Beach, when there were people who found and who took on the thinking process that they hate Jews and they were going to do something to hurt them and to kill them. This guy, Aiden Ross, he's the bad guy in all this. He's the son of a bitch who had to get out there and start this. He's the guy wallowing in the gutter with what he thinks is funny, and it's not. So let's hold him to accord. And if he apologizes, okay. But I'm not accepting it, and neither should you, because he knows what he did. Puka may not. So let's learn from this and make things just a little better.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.